Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead is an Aussie zombie movie. It's the director's directorial debut, and it is a pretty good movie. This movie follows Barry. He is a family man who has to escape a zombie apocalypse. Basically, everyone starts turning into zombies for some reason, and he barely escapes with his own life, and he's recounting. The movie does a wise thing of having character development take kind of place at the beginning. At the beginning of the movie, characters are sort of talking about how they came into the group. So they start with this guy, and then sort of sets up, the rules of the zombie apocalypse. And they cut to Barry, him and his family trying to escape. And then there's also a side story. His sister calls him up and warns him about the zombies, but then she gets captured by these militaristic guys. And she ends up being in the clutches of an evil scientist. So this movie is equal parts Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead remake, and Mad Max. The movie doesn't have much in the sense of vehicular set pieces. It's more about zombies, but the movie does have enough twists on its own and enough dynamic direction to be a really fun movie. It's the movie starts off with the quiet of the sort of just regular people fighting the zombies, and then they cut back to him with the group. And then the group's got to tool up a truck and find a way to get to his sister in another city. Meanwhile, his sister's trying to stay alive with this mad scientist guy. The movie does feel like a B movie, kind of lower budget, but the movie does a really good job with its set pieces. The first, minute of the movie shaky cam, and I was afraid that the rest of the movie would be shaky cam, but it's not. The rest of the movie has much stronger direction. The acting is also really good. Most of these people are unknowns because it's a lower budget Australian movie, but this movie is a lot of fun. They managed to have a lot of emotion for some of the sequences. One of the themes of the movie is that unwillingness of people still latch onto their humanity even in the face of adversity, and people have this sort of struggle to kill their own loved ones because it's something that a lot of movies gloss over for zombie action. This movie is able to balance both. It has zombie action, but it has the sort of the toll it takes to kill someone that you just met, became allies with, and then they got bitten, and the sort of dealing with the rapid succession of grief as it happens, because it's a really high octane situation where people get killed immediately, and their biggest wish before they turn is to be killed so they don't walk around like a zombie, basically. So this movie does have that sort of touch of humanity, but I really like that. That was the sort of character building stuff that makes you care about the characters before they go on this big journey. Without that, it would just be a movie about people in armor with guns shooting at things and trying to get across the country, and that's not enough. So I'm really glad that the movie was able to at least build up some strong character development before having all of the mayhem. So overall, this movie does have some weird plot stuff happen at the very end of the movie, or I guess they kind of ran out of time, so they decided to just have some more fun. But overall, Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead is a nice surprise. I would call it a really strong zombie movie in the subgenre, a lesser known fun gem. If you're a zombie movie nut like me, then you have to check it out. So I really enjoyed Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead, and I give it a 7 out of 10.